What's up guys, welcome to AnimeKouhai. If you want to help me out, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel.
If they wanted it back now, forget it.
Also, I'm thinking about making a new elemental colossus, so I want you to get the materials for me.
Yes, and I want you to employ monsters worthy of serving as my bosses. And clean up the forest for me.
Ramirez, I could at least lend an ear to. I was only planning to open everything up to floor 50 for this unveiling anyway, so I figured we could manage. But I really didn't have time for Veldora's selfish demands. We'd have time to worry about that later. For now, he'd just have to take care of things himself. I was just about to turn him down when I heard three voices at the same time.
I think we have the perfect person for the job, actually.
Sir Rimuru, why don't you let them take care of this?
My master, I can think of someone suitable.
It was Shuna, Trainee, and Ranga. Shuna suggested that Adelman the White would work as a boss. Gabble rapidly agreed with her.
Adelman's forces are weak against sunlight.
She reasoned.
So they would thrive in cave-like environments. I think the labyrinth would be perfect for them.
Indeed, while Adelman could leave the cave in the day, none of his forces could. I heard they liked to wander outside at night, much to the consternation of passing merchants. I had a stack of complaints from them in my office. Yeah, if I ran into a walking skeleton in the dead of night, I'd probably pee my pants too. Putting them down in that maze seemed like a good idea.
Besides,
Shuna glumly continued,
he is a little pushy, praising you as a god and everything.
in Adelman's eyes, I was a god, and Shuna my shrine princess. That was pretty annoying, yes.
Alright, we'll stick Adelman in floor 60 as the boss. And Ramirez, I'll get some stuff to make an elemental colossus with. Have Adelman help you out.
Are you sure?
Yeah, he's got a lot of intelligence, if not much else. He ought to help out with your research.
Alright, thanks, Rimuru.
So we had bosses for floors 60 and 70. Now it was Trainee's turn, and she suggested leaving floors 71 through 80, where the vegetation was still relatively sparse, to Zijin and Apito.
Those two can summon their underlings.
She said.
So they should be able to reclaim those floors in quick order. Plus,
She flashed a look at Ramirez.
I think that Zijin would make a fine boss for floor 80.
She said, smiling.
He's done a wonderful job protecting the Trent homeland up to now.
I see.
That sounds like a splendid idea.
Chimed in Veldora.
I would be happy to train him up to a fighter worthy of making floor 80 proud.
Yeah, Zijin was definitely a lot stronger than one might guess. Definitely stronger than a Tempest Serpent, or at least he was the last time I saw him. But this is still Zijin we're talking about. He's just a bug the size of a squirrel or something, you know. I'm not sure how much you could train up, something like that, but oh well. I already knew Veldora was a weirdo, so I could just let him do what he liked.
Okay, let's go with that.
Then for Ranga.
Master, the fox spirit I have been tending to has awoken and claims to be gifted at clearing out forests in any way requested. I would suggest accepting the offer, perhaps.
He said, poking his head out from my shadow. And sitting between his ears was what looked like a fox pup with 4 golden tails swaying behind it. So cute.
Wanna try it?
Indeed, I do, sir.
The fox nodded, eyes gleaming at me. Again, so cute. Essentially, this kit's offer was to blaze animal trails through the vegetation, creating a sort of maze with them. If that was what it wanted to do, I saw no reason to say no. If it proved not up to the task, I could just raise the forest then.
Okay, so.
Then I noticed a problem of my own. This fox, nicknamed Ninehead back when it was under Clayman's control, still didn't really have a name.
Well, wait, before that, let me give you a name. From this day forward, your name is Kumara.
It was totally casual, like giving a dog a name. But I wasn't stupid. I had learned my lesson by now, and I wasn't gonna have all my magical energy sapped away this time. No, this time I could control. Wait, whoa. I was suddenly seized by a flooding sort of lethargy. This was soon followed by panic.
Report. This is the effect of the naming. Since the subject, Kumara, held a vast amount of magicule energy, more energy is being consumed than originally surmised.
I was tricked by this tiny fox pup in front of me, but yeah, it's actually one of the rarest, most high-level monsters out there. I may have dropped the ball there. Plus, the moment I uttered the name, Kumara started growing fast, not in size, really, but in number of tails, which went from 4 to 9 in a hurry. It had only 3 during the fight with Ranga, and each of those tails had its own special ability. In a way, what I had done, I suppose, was summon not one, but 9 different magical beasts at the same time.
My deepest thanks, Sir Rimuru. I shall do all I can.
Ah well, no point dwelling on the past. I managed to avoid slipping into unconsciousness, so I guess Raphael's calculations were close enough, even if it wasn't quite as expected. Not much surprise in its voice anyway. It must have assumed it'd hand over this level of magicules to the little fox from the get-go. Otherwise, Kumara wouldn't have grown exactly 9 tails like that. Come on, don't play dumb with me. I can see through you well enough. Thus, I decided to leave floors 81 through 90 to the overjoyed, scampering Kumara. It's not like this zone would see a swell of adventurers from day one. I bet Kumara solo would make a fine boss. That wrapped up Ramirez's and Veldora's issues. I was glad to see the rest of my staff was pretty excited about the dungeon, too. Its success was really important to me. I wanted to be sure its operation started on the right track. I gave Kumara a pat on the head. With all the reporting on the Founders Festival done, I wanted to listen to Soei's recent findings.
Alright, Soei, the stage is yours.
Yes, sir.
What he had for me was quite a surprise. It turned out that a hero had taken down the entire Orthrus slave market organization. Its exposure and downfall had already led to severe consequences for certain nobility around the world, including that Viscount Kazakh guy, who was now in the custody of the Blumend authorities.
Even Anglacia is alive with rumors of the affair. Orthrus had connections with virtually every nation in the world. It was an armed group who held possession of a great number of battle slaves, including magic-born and magical beasts. Their military power was equivalent to that of a small country, but it said a hero's band was all it took to destroy it.
Soei smiled a little. This hero, Lightspeed Masayuki, a name familiar to me, was now being lauded as the strongest man in the Western nations, a reputation no doubt buoyed by the news of my victory over Hinata. Did this mean anyone who lost to a demon lord wasn't worth pinning the hopes of humankind to? I felt like I did something bad to her now. Hope she doesn't take it personally. But back to Masayuki, there wasn't a lot of hard intel on this guy, so we didn't know much about him. However, he was confirmed to have destroyed Orthrus, and freed the elven slaves they were holding.
Several elves were among the slaves, and it seems Masayuki is now accompanying them back toward our nation.
Sounds like I owe him a word or two of gratitude. But there was a problem.
What should we do, Sir Rimuru? If you like, I could dispatch him before he causes any trouble for us.
No, better not. Let's try talking with him first.
Alright, anyone who professes to slay a demon lord needs to be taught a lesson, in my personal opinion, but...
Yes, as could be surmised from this conversation, there were rumors in the Western nations that Masayuki intended to topple me. Soei already had an inhumane-looking smile, just imagining what he'd do with the guy, no doubt, but he still followed my orders. But, man, I really didn't want to have to face a hero right in the middle of the Founders Festival, one of the most important events in the history of Tempest. I was worried the battle-obsessed members of my staff, Shion and Diablo, to say nothing of Soei, would defy orders, run off, and do something terribly unwise.
Let me take care of Masayuki. Absolutely no touching him, you got it?
Yes, sir.
Well, at least they knew how to say, yes sir, in unison. But with 3 days to go until the Founders Festival, I now had a thorny problem at hand. It was like rain on my parade, and it made me feel a lot gloomier about the future. But not long from now, a massive, intense party was about to kick off and throw all my trivial worries to the wind.
That's it for this video, guys. Thank you for always watching my videos and supporting my channel. Shoutout to Shukran, Michael, Iron Comics, King AMVs, Flair SP, Yusef BTR, Sophie Liz, Wilfred Miller, Sugar Bunny 26, and last but not the least, shoutout to Nat Panda. I'll see you guys in the next video.